Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's extremely late where I am. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, but I had a bit of a headache earlier, so I went to bed with some aspirin a couple hours ago, and I just got up. And so I'm getting up and I'm seeing that Foodie Beauty, she did a huge grocery haul vlog type situation. And just a few minutes ago, she just posted another video, this one talking about the cats yet again. I'm not quite sure why she did that. I don't know why she's bringing up the cats yet again. She goes after the reaction channels saying they keep bringing it up and carrying on that subject, and yet she does it. She brings up the cats again when nobody asked her to. So I wanted to just put both videos into one. There's really no sense in making 3 and 4 videos. Let's just wrap it all together into one video and call it a day. And then I can go back to bed. So we're going to start with the grocery haul. The video itself, it's not very long. It's less than 11 minutes. I peeked at it and I have some thoughts. Now, these are not conspiracy theories. These are just theories. I'm going to put them on the table, and you guys can tell me in the comments what you think. So here are my theories that I'm putting on the table about the grocery haul. The haul that she did was huge. There was a lot of food. Now, Foodie is on a visitor visa, a tourist visa, which lasts for just 90 days. Her visa is supposed to be up. I believe I saw on Twitter it's on the 3rd, so she's got maybe a week left. The amount of food in this haul was for more than 1 week. So, considering the amount of food, is she planning to overstay her visa, and that's why she bought so much? So that's theory number 1. Theory number 2. She bought the food and maybe she's splitting the food with Salah because he doesn't live there. I mean, because the haul that she did, it looked like stuff that you're buying for more than one person. Some of the items that she bought, I looked at them and I'm like, why are you buying so much of that particular item? Like 4 tubes of toothpaste. For a couple living together, that seems kind of excessive. Why buy 4 tubes if there's 2 people living together? Unless perhaps maybe it's a situation where you've got 2 people living separately and 2 tubes of toothpaste for one person and 2 for another. That's another theory. Here's another one. She's stocking up because in about a month or 2, it's going to be really, really hot in Kuwait. and she's not going to want to go out to do any kind of shopping. So is she preparing for really, really hot weather? Just doing all the shopping now so that she can get through at least a month of the hot weather without having to go out and do any grocery shopping. So those are my theories about the grocery haul. But you guys can see the haul for yourselves, and you can tell me in the comments what you think. So let's get started there. And then we'll move on to the newest video, the closure and truth about the cat allegations. I watched a minute of that and I'm like, Foodie, you've lost the plot. And you can't rewrite history. But we'll get to that part when we get to it. So let's start with the haul. Let's get that out of the way. I've said before, I'll say it again. I'm not quite sure why she feels the need to do grocery haul videos. It's not like she's buying anything really new or interesting that we've never seen before. But yet Foodie has this thought process that anything that she consumes has to be interesting to the rest of us, and that's why she has to show it to us. Guess what, Foodie? You're not as interesting as you think. But let's get started, shall we? Let's go over this.
All right, guys, we have another grocery haul for you. All right, let's get to, this is just part one of my grocery haul. We do our grocery haul in two parts. Online for some things, because there's an online store that has amazing deals. And then also at the actual store itself, which we'll be going to soon. Let me start in the front so I can move things out of the way. So here we have some onions. Now, a lot of these things, I'll let you know some of the prices. These onions were equivalent of 75 cents Canadian, 150 fills. So we have some more red onions. I've been really liking to use red onions. I find they have a lot more flavor, whereas before I used to think they were too strong. We have some tomatoes.
You know what's hurting my heart, y'all? There's some healthy food here. There's a lot of unhealthy food. You guys are going to see it in the vlog, but we know Foodie. When does she ever cook? She hates to cook. And in the past, when she lived at the villa, she would do grocery hauls, but then the food that she would buy would go to waste. Y'all remember the HelloFresh subscription that she would get? She would get the HelloFresh food, and then it would just sit and rot in the fridge or on top of the counter. So the healthy food that she did buy never got consumed, but then she would turn around and do all kinds of takeout. So good food, but she's never going to eat it. Never.
Again, 75 cents. These are amazing. I love cucumbers. And these are Kuwaiti cucumbers, and this was all 75 cents. 75 cents for some potatoes. 75 cents for bananas. 75 cents for oranges. And again, 75 cents for eggs. I have to stock up. That's why I've been doing the egg salad sandwiches and things. We have so many eggs. And we have my noodles. Number one reason I like ordering online as well is that I get the noodles from online. These are the Quattro cheese spicy hot chicken ramen that I love so much. This oil, this big thing of sunflower oil, also was 75 cents. And so this here.
You know, another thought that just came to me. So her visa is supposed to be up in about a week. Is she buying all these groceries because she might be leaving in a week? And this is all stuff for Salah to eat while she's gone? Just a thought.
Here is an incense burner. It matches our couch and carpet and curtains, so it's really cute. Here we call it boku. And what you do is you put a little coal like that, burn it, And then here you have the incense, the bukur. And this is from Salah's business. But I'll open it and show you. So here's the incense wood, and then you put it on top of the coal. Just like so. And then, yeah, your home smells nice. Okay, and then I have some more of these buldak samyang noodles. Cream carbonara. I like the packaging. I can just add my liquid to it and put it in the microwave.
You know, I'm getting some flashbacks right now. And the flashbacks that I'm getting is when she was living at the villa and she would do a grocery haul and she would buy a bunch of healthy food. Usually that healthy food ended up over at Natter's place. Like if there was anything healthy, it would go directly to him. And then all the unhealthy processed junk would be hers. So is that healthy food? Is that for Salah? Is he taking that to his apartment while she keeps all the processed junk at hers? You have to wonder.
I'm also just going to have a regular cheese one. And these noodles, guys, don't let...
Everything that she eats has to be flavored by cheese or has cheese in it. Like all the noodles are cheese flavored. And if they're cheese flavored, she's going to dump more cheese into it. Foodie, you don't need to add more cheese to your diet, dear.
The cute cheese flavor and this cute little guy, chicken guy on the cover fool you, because these are spicy and they will take you out. And then we have a cream carbonara one. These samyang Korean noodles, they are addictive. They're halal. Yes. And then we just have a pack of small water. All right, guys, now for the haul from the grocery store itself. We have 2 bags of chicken breast, boneless, skinless chicken breast. We have some spiral fries, seasoned ones. We have some beef meatballs. We have a whole chicken. We have some shredded cheddar, some shredded mozzarella, some cooking cream, and some halloum cheese. That's the halloum cheese there. Okay, and we have some frozen chicken burgers, some frozen jumbo beef burgers, a 4-pack of pasta.
You know, I have to wonder if the amount of takeout that she's been getting, it's been so incredibly expensive. Salah's just like, look, you ate pretty much the same things over and over again. Just buy the ingredients and make it at home. It would save money. Because a lot of the ingredients that I'm seeing right now is all stuff that I recognize those ingredients from the live chats that she's done, the mukbangs that she's done, the meals that she's eaten, the noodles, the meatballs. Yeah. Yeah. Is Salah all over you, Chantal, telling you that you're ordering too much takeout and it's expensive and make it at home? I'm wondering.
Some containers for like sides and also to like feed cats some cat food. Some feta cheese.
Ma'am, it's getting hot outside. When are you going to go out and feed cats? It's getting summer over in Kuwait. It's getting increasingly hot. When are you going to go out to feed the cats? Never.
Some pita bread, some Maggi cubes, bouillon.
Hold on a minute. Let me go back for a second. I just want to see something. All right. I'm just going to go back over this part.
A pack of pasta, some containers for like sides and also to like feed cats some cat food.
Y'all notice what's missing? So she's talking about feeding the cats cat food. Where's the cat food? Yeah. you've got little containers to feed the cats, cat food, but you forgot the food. So how are they going to get fed?
Some feta cheese, some pita bread, some Maggi cubes, bouillon, a huge pack of cheese slices for burgers and things, grilled cheese.
Cheese everywhere. Just cheese everywhere in this haul.
We have some burger sauce, kind of like a Big Mac sauce, I'm guessing. Some marinara for pasta and some pizza sauce. We also have some popcorn, black pepper, and chili powder. All right, and in case you don't notice, I didn't organize my grocery haul. A lot of people organize dairy with dairy. Blah, blah.
Yeah, are y'all seeing this in the back? Okay, so this right here in the back, these yellow bottles, that's dishwashing liquid. And there's several bottles of that. And there's 4 containers of toothpaste. So if you've got a week left in Kuwait, Foodie, why are you buying all this stuff? Like 4 containers of toothpaste. Listen, if you were someone that you were very on top of brushing your teeth, I could see buying 4 tubes of toothpaste. But we know you're not. You don't like brushing your teeth. So why does 1 or even 2 people need 4 tubes of toothpaste? Either maybe you're making a haul where you're splitting up the haul with Salah, or you're buying for other people, because 4 tubes of toothpaste is a lot, mama. It is a lot.
Blah. Even my mustard's not near my ketchup, but that's how I roll, okay? Nothing in my life is organized. We all know this. If you've been here a while, you know the deal. All right. Okay, so I have a huge bag of basmati rice. And we have 6 containers of dishwash liquid. It was
Okay, I got questions about the dishwashing soap. It's just a question. Foodie likes to eat a lot of takeout, which means, she eats out of the takeout containers. So why does she need so much dishwashing liquid? She shouldn't have that much in the way of dishes. That's why it looks funny to me that she's buying so many bottles. And again, all of those tubes of toothpaste. That looks like a haul that you're splitting up with somebody, that you're buying groceries for somebody else too.
On special, as you can see. So I think all of these was like less than $4 equivalent. We have also Signal toothpaste, which is a well-known brand here. A huge can of dolma or grape leaves. And yes, I did go through the former can I had. Yeah, I love those. We have Parmesan cheese, Algerian sauce for burgers and fries, yellow mustard, finally, some coriander. We have some, can't see it very well, but dill, fresh dill and parsley, and French dressing, my favorite salad dressing. What's your favorite salad dressing? Comment below. Ketchup, lemons, and 20 packs of chicken curry flavor Indomie.
So many ramen noodles. So many noodles. So many processed noodles. So you know what? Seeing all these packs of noodles, I've already got a prediction, y'all. I predict that our Chantal is going to do more boring mukbangs with the noodles. She's going to sit down, eat a huge bowl of noodles, and that's going to be her mukbang. Yeah, so more boring mukbangs incoming.
All right, so we have these hazelnut cookies. We haven't tried these yet. We're going to try them. Chocolate covered.
We mean we. Who's we? Chantal, why can't you be honest? All that junk food is for you. The packs of noodles are for you. I haven't seen Salah eating any of the processed noodles. The processed noodles, the processed food, the junk food, that's for you. Why do you insist on saying we? Are you trying to make it seem like he eats it too? Because he doesn't. That is your food.
Bird. So, some mortadella beside the sweets. And we have some Reese's peanut butter cups, 2 packs, full size. And we have these also hazelnut cookies.
And y'all know how I feel about temptation foods in the house if you got a problem with food. What have I always said? If you can reach it, it's too close. So Chantal, with her issue with food, having all those temptation foods in the house, guaranteed they won't last a couple of days.
Cookies, chocolate covered. Some canned mushrooms, 2 packs of.
Okay, this is just personal opinion. Maybe some of you feel differently. Canned mushrooms, especially like button mushrooms, those look like kind of like button mushrooms. They taste so gross. Okay, there's no flavor. Ew. They're practically tasteless.
Of white beans. I like white bean stew. I'll do a recipe and I'll show you guys.
Chantal, listen, I don't know if you still have your Instapot, but I'm sure you can get one. And if you have an Instapot, I mean, you can make amazing stews and soups and all kinds of things in an Instapot. If you have an air fryer and an Instapot, you are good to go. You practically don't even need a huge oven or stove. They'll do all the cooking for you and they'll do it quickly. An Instapot is basically a crock pot on steroids. Why not just get some beans, some dried beans, and cook it fresh versus it being in a can? You can make some amazing stuff in an Instapot.
2 packs of razors, some tortilla. All right, and we have some sweet corn. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. You guys will love it.
Now, I know those razors are not for her, because when did she shave? Was that for Salah? That's why I'm thinking that maybe they split up the haul or something. That she's buying for 2 households, hers and his separately. Because I don't think he lives there. I think she lives there by herself.
And we have some treats here, some salted seeds. We have these are so delicious. I think these are called coquita nuts. These are so delicious. They're hard to open. They give you a little tool when you buy them, but it's worth it. These taste and smell like a vanilla, I wasn't focusing, like a vanilla treat or something. Tastes almost like a macadamia nut with like vanilla. So good. We have some barbecue sunflower seeds and some barbecue pumpkin seeds. All right, here we have 2 cantaloupes, 2 heads of.
You know, it's making my heart hurt because I know that junk food is going to be gone. She will definitely eat that, but all that healthy food she's buying will probably rot in the fridge. Unless she gives it to Salah and he's eating it in his place.
Of romaine. Don't these look nice? Some peppers. We also got like a whole lot of bottles of water, spring water, and 2 things of mixed berry juice, and my beloved Nescafe 3-in-1.
Why does she need plastic cups with that? Why do you need plastic cups, Chantal? You're making more garbage than you have to. You're living in a household. I'm sure you have cups or glasses. Why do you need a bunch of plastic cups?
Some burger buns and 3 cases of this orange drink. They're like juice boxes basically.
3 cases, y'all. Let that sink in. 3 cases. Why? Why? You got 2 big bottles of juice and you need 3 cases of juice boxes. Just why?
So they look like this, and they're actually good to freeze as well. All right, and we're coming into a finish here. So we have some peanut. So we have some peaches. They're like those donut style peaches. And we have some green onion, spring onion, some pears.
Little recommendation, side recommendation. If you guys haven't tried the donut peaches, you should, because they're delicious. I'm just saying.
Some different flavored chips, tortilla chips, sweet chili pepper.
So Chantal's supposed to be going on a health journey. I see a lot of processed foods in this haul. I see a lot of chips. I see a lot of candy and nuts and things like that. It's health journey where? The majority of that haul wasn't healthy food. I saw a lot of canned stuff. Stuff you stick in the microwave. How are you going to get healthy, Chantal? Answer, you're not.
Hot chili and lime, sweet and sour, and nacho cheese. Some aluminum foil. Some plastic to put down on the floor to eat or to cover the table for eating.
You know, Chantal, this is where I'm going to shame you a little bit. You are almost 40 years old. You are an older woman. It's so sad that as a 39-year-old woman, you're such a messy eater. You have to buy that much wrap to put on the table and put on the floor just because you don't know how to be neat when you eat. You got rolls and rolls of plastic wrap because you're so messy. Sad and pathetic.
And we have a huge thing of fabric softener and some butter. And actually the last...
Guaranteed that fabric softener is not going to be used because she never washes her clothes. But go ahead.
This thing we have here, whoa, are some heavy duty garbage bags. Some large garbage bags. All right, and that is the haul. So I'm gonna have fun continuing to put everything away, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Go have fun.
Yay.
So that's it for the haul. I wonder what the comments are. Let me take a quick peek. Let's see. IC847 says, when will she ever use this haul? She eats takeout all of the time. Right. In the past, when she was at the villa, she would do grocery hauls. She even had HelloFresh. She never ate the healthy food. She was always running around, going to Burger King, going to McDonald's. So the healthy food, is that for her or is that for Salah? Because we've all said he doesn't live with Chantal. So did she buy food for both of them and he's just taking the healthy food to his place and then she keeps all the processed junk at hers? You have to wonder. Vera says, is this just for 2 people? Looks like a grocery haul for a family of 6. Good Lord, baby girl, y'all are eating good. Let's see how long the grocery haul lasts. Knowing Chantal should go straight for the chips, she'll go straight for the candy. And then when she runs out of her sweets, she's going to still send him back to the store to get her junk food. She won't just, move over to the healthy food and be healthy with that. She's got to have her sugar. And let's see. Susan says, I don't believe that many things were 75 cents. It makes no sense. Yeah, I don't believe that either. I don't believe she bought eggs for 75 cents. She's lying. She's definitely lying. Hey, somebody pointed something out. September, Morgan says you forgot toilet paper. Yeah, that was missing in the haul. Toilet paper. Just like she was missing cat food. She bought those little dishes to feed the cats, but where's the cat food, Chantal? Didn't see any cat food. You talk about how much you love cats and you want a cat, but you got dishes to feed them, but no food. But that was kind of the case when you were living in the villa as well. You buy all kinds of food for yourself, and you didn't buy anything for the cats because you were so stingy. Bad Beach says, when are you going to vlog outside? Never. It's summertime in Kuwait. It's too hot. She's not going to go outside. She might go outside at night when it's cooler, but definitely not during the day. Let's see. Okay, so that's it for the grocery haul. Let's get out of here. Now we're going to move on to the video that she just posted. And the reason why I'm covering it now versus waiting in the morning, because I just have this funny feeling it won't be there when I get up. And I'm scratching my head, Chantal. I know there's a time difference between the United States and Canada and Kuwait. I know it's like a 7 or 8 hour time difference. But Mama, why are you up so late posting these videos? Are you bored? I don't know what's gotten into Chantal with this video, but she's in a mood. And like I said, nobody asked her to talk about the cats, defend herself about the cats, but something put her in a mood because she's addressing it again when she really doesn't have to. BBJ is in a better place. Sam is in a better place. She's bringing up something she doesn't have to bring up. I think it's because she gets mad and she's got to find a reason to let it all out. So she has to let some of that anger in her system out, and this is how she does it. So let's go ahead and switch over to that video. And remember, Chantal, you brought this up. Nobody asked you to. You did this on your own. So you go out to the reaction channel saying, you guys you're keeping this going. You're talking about it. But yet you bring it to the table first. But I'm going to go ahead and react. Let's see what she has to say. Oh, and by the way, y'all, she turned the comments off. See, she likes to do things like this. She likes to make videos like this, and then she turns the comments off so people can't call her out for her hypocrisy and her lies. But let's continue anyway.
Once and for all, I want to put closure to this situation. I want to have...
Chantal, you've done this before. You've done videos. You're like, I'm doing this for closure. Yet you close the door and then you open the door back up when it suits you. So if you're doing something for final closure, let it be final closure. Don't open the door again just because you need some views or subs or attention, okay?
Have an official video, not just a live stream, which is why I didn't do a live stream. I want to have an official video talking about exactly what happened in a calm, truthful manner. You will see that my story...
Well, calm you may be, truthful you are not. You don't know how to tell the truth. That's why the reaction channels we present our theories. Because you lie so much, you leave so many holes, people are wondering what's going on with you. We present our theories to try to make it all make sense. But giving everything in a truthful manner, when has that ever happened?
Story doesn't change because it's the truth. I also need an official video, like I said. Explain.
No, you don't. You don't need an official video. You really don't. And you know what? Okay. So I'm being petty. That's a great thumbnail for the video. I'm just taking a moment. I'm liking that. I'm liking that face. Thank you, Chantal. You just gave me my thumbnail right there. There it is, y'all. There's the thumbnail. Go ahead.
Explaining the situation, because when it comes to the animal abuse allegations against me, which are complete bullshit.
Ma'am, you're supposed to be a newly reverted Muslim woman. Why are you using that bad language? See, that's why everybody wants you to leave Kuwait. Not because they want you to go home and do rugs and go wild and hurt yourself? It's because you're cosplaying something you're not over in Kuwait. You're sitting there wearing a hijab and an abaya, and you're using foul language. You're cosplaying, and it's disgusting, and you need to stop. So if you want to act disgusting, why not go home to Canada and be your real authentic self versus cosplaying something you're not?
There's different groups of people. There's, of course, my Beezers and my loyal followers who have seen. I've been on YouTube since 2017, and I'll just show you some clips of me and the cats since then on YouTube.
So you know what she's trying to do? She's trying to say, look, I took care of the cats for years and they were fine, and I've always been a good cat owner. Maybe you did take care of the cats very well for years, Chantal. But then you got on YouTube. And then you got man hungry. And you got wrapped around a pathetic excuse for a man. And you let that take completely over. So just because you took care of the cats for a long time and you might have done it well, that doesn't excuse what happened after. That doesn't excuse the neglect. Doesn't excuse what you did. You can't use the past to defend your actions of the present. You just can't do that. And I'm going to go on record as saying this. People do not have a problem with the fact that you rehomed the cats. If you got into a relationship and you had to move thousands of miles away, nobody has a problem with that. Everybody had a problem with the neglect, with the conditions that the cats were living in. Had you been a responsible pet owner and taken care of your pets and taken them to the vet and gotten them medical care, gotten them treatments, gotten them groomed, and they've been well cared for, if they had lived in a healthy, clean environment, nobody would have had anything to say. Nobody would have said anything. But you forget all the live streams that you did out of your bedroom, out of the living room, out of the kitchen. That place was disgusting. And you were proud of how disgusting it was. You talked to us about the mummified food, the moldy pots. We saw the garbage all over the floor. Talking about, you even showed yourself using a garden rake or a garden hoe to rake through the piles of garbage in your bedroom. We saw the clip of BBJ with her food all over the floor. No person or animal should have to live like that. Yet you made your cats live like that. They were constantly going without food. You would make sure to buy yourself food, but you wouldn't buy them enough food. And they were always on the hunt for food. Sam was even going after BBJ because he was so hungry that he was trying to fight for the little bit of food there was. People were begging you to take BBJ to the vet. They even paid for vet visits. Did you take her? No. And you did it out of spite. You had the audacity to say to your audience that one of the main reasons why you didn't take your cats to the vet was just to tick off your haters. I can't imagine being so evil that I'm so caught up in strangers online that I'm going to deny my own pets care just to make them angry. I mean, that's just bizarre and evil to me.
Are you stealing my straw, Sam? What are you doing, Sam? This is why I ask you. What are you doing? You're beezing. These are beezing behaviors. Yes, Sam. Days.
Gonna kill me into petting you all day, aren't you? And you're gonna lick me. Yes. Hey, old girl. Tell everybody your age. Or is that rude? A lady never says her age. Isn't it true, BB Jeans? Hey everyone, so here's some songs that I sing regularly to BB Junes, to my friends about.
You know, she's trying to rewrite history. How far back did you have to go, Chantal, to find these clips, to find these pictures? You know what's really sad to me? You know how awful you were. You can't show anything that's more recent. You had to go all the way back to years ago to find these video clips and to find the pictures showing your cats when they were a lot happier and a lot healthier. You don't dare show us the videos that are out there from the reaction channels, from the clip channels, showing your filthy house, showing your cats looking sad and neglected. You're not going to show those. No, you went all the way back to 4 or 5 years ago when you weren't wrapped up in men or rugs to show us how they looked. Like you had to go all the way back in the past.
BB Junes, and they all think I'm nuts. So, the first one is, and I guess it's true. She's a lazy ass bitch.
Look at her like feeding the cats. Oh, look, see, I fed my cats. I took care of my cats. Yeah, this was before Natter. This was before the party favors. This is before you got caught up in the views and the subs and the attention and the money.
Very ventilated, very open. It's not a small carrier, and he's going to be sedated. Anyway, it's for me to worry about, and it's going to happen. People bring their pets all the time. So yeah, he's being well taken care of right now.
Right. Sam is being well taken care of right now. Anybody would be a better owner than you. You shouldn't even have that hamster, because that hamster is living in a very cramped cage. You're probably overfeeding him. He's in a house where you guys are smoking the shisha. You've got that incense smoke. You keep the apartment freezing. You shouldn't even have that hamster, my opinion. You should not be in charge of taking care of anything that has a heartbeat. If you can't take care of yourself very well, you shouldn't take care of an animal.
So that's, whatever. Basically, I moved to Kuwait to marry the love of my life and someone who's very, very good for me after having been in an extremely abusive, toxic relationship for almost 2 years.
Okay. So it's 2:30 in the morning, and I have a roommate who's asleep. I'm not going to raise my voice and wake him up. I'm going to stay calm. I'm just going to stay calm and say this. Whatever the relationship was between you and Natter, it was something that you wanted. It was something that you invited. It was something that you chose to be a part of. And at any given time, you could have pulled yourself away. He was a person that he didn't have a car. He could not come to you. Each and every time that you saw him, you would have to go to him. And you could have cut that off anytime you wanted. And it's also my opinion that things were not as you painted them to be. I mean, yes, you and Natter are both hotheads, but let's not forget the other part of the picture that you want people to kind of bypass, Chantal. You've said that you are verbally abusive. You have confessed to that. You are verbally abusive. And verbal abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. So by saying that, you've confessed that you are an abusive person. And I'm not defending Natter. He's a scumbag. So he's an abusive person in whatever way he is, but you're also abusive. And none of us were in the room or rooms where the two of you were to see exactly what happened. But considering everything that I've seen with you, all the little things that don't make sense, I don't think he was abusive in the ways that you say. Just because I don't see any fear in you when you talk about him. You're not afraid of Natter. You like to provoke Natter. You're still talking about Natter. You mention him a lot. Those that have been abused, they don't want to think about those who abuse them. They want to put them out of their mind. And yet you still keep bringing this person up. You still keep talking about it, even though you're supposedly married and you've got somebody new in your life, and that's who you should be focusing on. So you showed the cats trying to paint yourself as a cat owner, cat lover. I love my cat so much. And now here you are trying to bring up the abuse and paint yourself a victim when you never were. Because that whole situation that you were part of, you created that and you stayed in it when you didn't have to. Those are my thoughts.
So this person is really good for me. I love him. So I had to make a tough decision. I wasn't sure at the time. Do I want to travel with the cats? Maybe it would be better to leave them behind. I wasn't sure. I had to make a fast decision because I was moving fast. I had 1 month back in Canada. I came to Kuwait, got married, came back home, and had about a month to pack up my entire life and leave everything behind in Canada to come here in hopes of having a better life.
My opinion, I think she left Canada for 2 reasons. One, because she is a jealous, insecure woman, and she doesn't like the feeling of Salah being so far away and she can't control him. So she wanted to be near him as quickly as possible. So she was in a hurry to leave. Number 2, because of her financial situation in Canada, the debts and the bankruptcies and having to pay that back. She was running from her problems, escaping her problems. And she chose to go to another country to escape the consequences of her actions. So you leaving Canada wasn't just about love, Chantal. It was about escaping the consequences of your actions. And it was about controlling another person.
Life with my husband. I don't know why I'm villainized for that, just because we didn't know each other for a very long time. Love doesn't really have a time. I mean, it's different for everybody, right?
Okay. So I'm single, but I've been in relationships before. And I will say this about love. If you love someone and they love you too, if they are truly the love of your life, you won't have to hurry. They'll wait, and you can wait, and you should wait. If you want to know that's the right person and they're right for you, you will take the time to get to know them. They will take the time to get to know you. You'll make sure everything is correct before you jump all the way in. Love is patient. Love is very patient. It's okay to get to know the person before you get married to them, before you move in with them. It's okay for them to get to know you. It makes me wonder if she was in a hurry to get over there before Salah found out who she really was and what she was really about. You know, she wanted to get over there and get moved in and locked in before he figured out the truth. And then he'd be stuck with her.
But so far, he's proven nothing but to be loving and completely legit, unlike what other people thought. But most people are wrong about me in my life, and that's what frustrates me about it. If I'm happy in my life, if I'm a mess in my life, I should say, they have to pick that apart, and then when I become happy, they have to pick that apart. So there's just no winning. But this is a serious accusation, and like I said, there's different groups of people when it comes to the abuse allegations. There's my beezers who 100% believe everything. They've seen my relationship with the cats. They know I would not abuse my cats. So I'm just addressing the.
I'm going to take a minute to throw this in your face, Chantal, because it's documentation. French Fry Girl took BBJ to a vet, a certified vet, and they treated BBJ. And there was a myriad of things that were wrong. Let's go over some of them. 5 claws that were grown into her foot pads. Unacceptable. What makes it even more unacceptable is the fact that the claws growing into the foot pads, that happened the first time a year before that. So she had the claws growing into her foot pads a year ago, and it happened again. It should never have happened the first time. Then there were the issues with her kidneys, which have been worked out. She's also dealt with mats in her fur, and there were so many things wrong. The vet even said in the paperwork that BBJ was saved from neglect. That is documented. So how can you sit there and claim to be a good pet owner when a vet says on paperwork, documentation, the pet was suffering from neglect? And here's something further. Your cat Sam had to be completely shaved because of the dander in his fur. It was just that bad. The cat just couldn't be just given a bath and he was fine. He had to be shaved. So you neglected both your pets badly. So how can you sit there and say you were a good pet owner? You really can't. The cats are where they need to be. They are around people that care for them, that have been caring for them. And that's why you should never own a pet, ever.
These defamatory accusations. Okay. Sorry, some people smoke shisha. Some people smoke cigarettes, 10 packs when they're doing a live stream. Some people smoke weed. I smoke my shisha. So
I have a question. Does anybody else notice this? That her doing this video, she seems out of breath. How can you be out of breath and be sitting perfectly still? Now, I'm just going to throw this in here. When you are lying, when you're nervous, you know, your heart rate goes up. So you might be kind of out of breath for that. Just an observation.
And then there's people who just are this person who's spreading the rumors. Chinians, those are her fans. We call them Chinians, who just believe anything this person says just because they hate me. Hate for someone will cloud your judgment. And it doesn't matter what I say. Some people are not going to believe me. That's fine. After my video, if you don't believe me, then that's fine. I'm also turning off comments for this video because there are people who just don't want anything good to be true when it comes to me.
And I'm going to point this out yet again. So the footage we saw earlier that you provided for us in this video, we can clearly tell that that footage was taken long ago. It wasn't taken a year ago or perhaps even 2 years ago. That footage looks like it was taken 3 or 4 years ago. Of course, you're not going to offer up anything more recent. Just because you know that if you do, the reaction channels, the clip channels, we have it all. We have all your live streams. We can bring them right up. They're on our channels and you can't get rid of that. Showing the filthy state of that villa, showing the sad state of those cats. The last 2 or 3 years they lived with you, they lived in hell. Absolute hell.
I'm not 100% innocent, but I'm not an animal abuser. So
yes, you are. Yes, you are. And I hate you using that defense. Oh, I'm not innocent. Nobody's asking you to be innocent. All we want from you is for you to be truthful. But I think you have trouble being truthful with yourself. You just can't look in the mirror and see your true reflection of how awful and evil you are. I think you actually delude yourself into thinking that you're a good person because you're just that rotten.
So then there's also people who um, who were supporters and then believed this stuff, and because of that defamation, they are no longer supporters. So again, believing the worst of me.
So, okay, so she just made that comment. So, are you upset, Chantal, because your views and your subs have gone down? Because you're not making the money that you used to? So, is this kind of a silent plea for people to come back? You feel like you have to defend yourself so that the beezers that you once had will come back to you and the money will come back? Is that what this is all about? Is that why you're bringing this up? Because, like I said, Frenchie has documentation. She took the cat to the vet. She showed the paperwork. BBJ suffered from neglect. That's not hearsay. That is actually documented. You can't dispute that. And even further proof is in all the live streams you did, all the community posts you did, showing the cats eating food off the floor, eating snacks because they were so hungry. How foul of you. The money that you made on YouTube and you could not feed nor care for your pets properly. Earning $10,000 to $20,000 a month and you couldn't be bothered to buy enough cat food. You couldn't provide a clean home. You couldn't take them to the vet. You're a beast.
Without knowing the full situation. So here it is. It's complicated. Again, I said when I came back to Canada, I had a month to pack up my whole life. And it was really traumatic for me. It was really, I still dream about the cats. And I wish I had done things differently, but I was cramped for time and I wasn't sure what to do. Part of me was listening to the influence of people as well, varying opinions like, you know, don't put your cat down, don't give your cat away, rehome your cat to someone, blah, blah, blah. So basically the only options I had when it came to the cats were euthanasia for the older one. I'll get to that in a minute.
No. There's one option that you're probably not going to name that I'm going to name for you. Here is the option that you missed. You could have been a good cat owner to both those babies and treated them well, made sure they were groomed, properly fed, clean home. You could have done that. You didn't do any of that. And then if you had presented yourself online as a wonderful cat owner and then rehome the cats, like I said, nobody would have said anything because everybody would have faith in you that you were a good, responsible pet owner, pet guardian, and you would find good homes for them if you need to rehome them. But as it were, you presented yourself as a foul, evil, uncaring pet guardian. You didn't guard them at all. You were savage and feral with those cats. You made them live in filth. That's what made everybody nervous. That's what made everybody afraid for them. Knowing how you were, knowing what your thoughts were. You coming on camera and talking about giving BBJ a dirt nap. You pig.
Rehoming or bringing them to Kuwait with me. And I decided that bringing them to Kuwait was going to be, I thought at the time that, you know, it was going to be very traumatic for the cats because even taking them to the vet was very traumatic for them. They were very nervous and afraid.
You know, she talks about that's her excuse why she never took the cat to the vet. Oh, it's too traumatic. But I do remember one of the visits that she did with BBJ, the vet gave her, is it gabapentin, if I'm not mistaken? It's like a medication to calm the cat so that they can be, you know, transported. Also, Chantal, there are mobile vets. If it's too traumatic for a cat to be taken to a static location far away, there are mobile vets, there are mobile groomers. They'll come to you. You just make a phone call, they'll come to you. Why didn't you ever use those? But the vet did give medication for BBJ. Why not give it to her? And even if the car travel is traumatic for an animal, it's just something you have to do, you know? Another point, you're talking about the drama and the trauma of it all, taking them to the vet. What about in the conditions that they lived? Living in all that filth, the smelly, stinky house, the fruit flies. You don't think that stressed them out? They were peeing and pooping all over the carpet. Let me tell you something. I'm a cat mama. Have been for years. The only time that a cat doesn't use the litter box is when the litter box is dirty, they're sick, or they're stressed. And your cats were going through all three in that house. So you were worried about stressing them out with a drive to the vet? But what about the conditions at home?
So bringing myself to the Middle East was a huge feat. And so bringing two cats, and one of them being in their 20s, like 19, 20, she was basically, I had her, I got her 2004, and she was 1 to 2 years, they said, at the shelter where I adopted her from. So she's an much elderly cat, living past life expectancy.
You know, she makes it sound like a cat living beyond 20 years old, like they shouldn't do that. I used to have an ex. He had a black cat named Morgana. Morgana lived to be about 25 or so. I mean, she lived a long, long time. And in her elderly age, she actually lost her sight. She went blind. But I'll tell you what, he told me that even though she went blind, she figured out her way around the house. And she was perfectly fine. Even while she was without her sight, she died in her sleep. So just because a cat is old, Chantal, doesn't mean they can't live a happy life.
Okay. So for her, definitely it wasn't a good idea. Now, before I went to Kuwait the first time, I clipped their nails. I have nail clippers. It was not easy. I had to have help because it was my one cat, my older cat, BBJ. She freaks out and shrieks very loudly if we touch her paws at all. In any regard, if the nails are even cut already, if they're in good condition, whatever, she just doesn't like it, having her paws touched. And I don't know if she's more senile now, but she's become more moody as she's gotten older. I was told by a vet that she has arthritis because she's older. She was developing kidney issues. So
right. She developed the kidney issues and you never took her to the vet. And as far as the arthritis, Frenchie said a while ago that they just gave her shots and she felt fine. Like her problems were so minimal. You could have treated all of that, but you didn't. You were too busy buying nashies and going to the dispensary. So screw you, Chantal, for all of that. Screw you in the name of BBJ. Screw you for being that neglectful, you jerk.
I know that someone said that she had a urinary tract infection, which of course is not completely unnormal.
By the way, Chantal, do you know that when a cat gets a UTI, how painful that is? That is painful. And that can lead to a bladder infection. That can lead to a lot of infections. That might account to if the cats were peeing on the carpet, that might have been why. Because they will do that if they have a UTI.
It's not unheard of with elderly cats. They have kidney issues. And I knew this. Now, she had a lot of health issues, and rehoming her after having her for so long, I thought would be traumatic. And sometimes the humane thing to do is euthanize your pet.
No. You don't euthanize your pet. unless it's a last resort. If they have issues that can be treated, you try to treat them. You do your best with that. Not everything is 100% treatable, but some things are, and everything that was wrong with BBJ has been treated. That's documented. And she's fine now. You had it set in your mind what you were going to do. You were finding ways to continue that thought rather than saying, you know what? I'm going to give her a chance. I should give her a chance at life. Even if she has all these health issues, let the new owner know about the issues and let them get the chance to treat her and for her to live her life. Rather than saying, oh, this the final, act. She has to be put down. That's not where your mind was. If you want my opinion, y'all, I think Chantal knew how neglectful she was, and she just wanted to hide all the evidence of her neglect. But it didn't happen. It backfired, didn't it, Chantal? Yeah, that's karma for you.
If that's the case, and what I was planning on doing when I came back to Canada was bringing her to her regular vet, which I did have an appointment for.
Ma'am. So you're expecting me, a cat mother, a cat guardian, to believe that you were going to take your cat to the vet, which a vet visit can take a while, and have all of her issues treated in one day, and then on the same day, rehome her. You're going to go to the vet, spend whatever amount of time at the vet, and then rehome her on the same day. No. You don't like being outside of your home for any length of time. And you look at going to the vet as an inconvenience. So you weren't going to take BBJ to the vet and get her treated? No. You weren't going to spend all that money? Don't believe it.
To determine with the vet if that was the best option for her, or if if it was okay to be rehomed. So
there's no vet that I could think of that would just look at a cat and go, well, just put her down. No. They're going to say, this is what you can do. You can do this, and this. These are the issues. They're not just going to look at a pet and say, put her down immediately. No, that's what you were thinking.
I didn't want to, rehome her to someone who would be taking on all these problems for her. And I didn't want her to go through.
Chantal, listen, I'm on YouTube and I watch all kinds of videos of people that rescue animals off the street, animals that live in bad conditions, animals that have health problems. There are lots of people, loving, caring, generous people with true heart and compassion, that they say, yes, this animal has issues. They're not in the best of shape, but we're going to work on getting them into the best of shape. And they go through the process. They go through the healing and the recovery. And then the pet is 100% fine at the end. There are lots of people that they take a pet that might be not in the best of state, and they love them anyway, and they'll treat them anyway. Not everybody is like you, like, oh, there's a couple of things wrong, let's just put them down. No. There are lots of people that say, yeah, okay, she's got her health problems, let's get it solved. And BBJ's was solved by somebody who cared. And it wasn't you.
Having to adapt to someone else. And I was a little afraid of where she was going, because truthfully, people can lie all day when you rehome them. You don't know, the truth is, what happens. And that's what happened to me.
You know what? I'm going to point something out. So this person, Amy Flowers, that Foodie was talking to, allegedly, like the story was that Amy Flowers was supposed to be bedridden. So you're over here saying that you were looking for the best owner for BBJ. So if BBJ had a myriad of health problems, which she did, how are you expecting somebody who is bedridden to take care of a sick cat? You were not looking for the best owner. You're looking for an owner, period. You wanted her out of your hair as quickly as possible so you could rush over to Kuwait.
I was deceived. I was lied to. My cat was actually stolen, and nobody knows.
Wrong. Absolutely wrong. You cannot make that claim. She was not stolen. You willingly gave her up. There's video proof out there. You did a video, Chantal, showing yourself, actually showing Pete handing off the cat. So if you're handing off the cat, how was she stolen? Nobody broke into your home and took the cats by force. You gave them up. And every time you gave up a cat, you were celebrating. You celebrated with a pizza party when you gave up Sam, and Sam was supposed to be your favorite.
Knows how she's doing today or where she is. So I had to make a tough decision, and it was traumatic for me because I loved those cats. They were my babies.
You never cried over those cats, so shut up.
I had my best friend and roommate at the time take care of them for me. He's lived with them for many years.
He never took care of those cats. He was just as bad as you. He didn't even properly take care of his cat, Timbit. Poor Timbit never made it out of his bedroom alive. He was a bad pet owner too, letting those litter boxes go 3 months without being changed. Are you freaking kidding me?
And maybe people think that they could have been better taken care of. There's always people that are going to think that, yeah, their eating area could have been cleaner sometimes. We were both dealing with severe depression and a lot of problems.
No excuse. Even if you were suffering from depression and Pete was suffering from depression, if you're suffering from depression, which is fine, I mean, people go through it and it's hard. You know what you do, Chantal? If you know you're depressed and you have a roommate and they're also depressed and you're looking around and you're saying to yourself, I'm just not in the headspace to take care of things, then you go to people and you say, I need help. There are people that could have come in and cooked for you and cleaned your house and done your laundry and taken care of the cats. There are people out there that you say, hey, can you come in and feed the cats for me? Can you change the litter boxes? I'll pay you X amount per hour. And they'll do it. So you can't use that excuse. You can't say, I was without resources. I was without help. It's just that you didn't want the help. You wanted to sit there in your villa and stew in your misery and have the cats be suffering with you.
And we were neglecting ourselves, but they were always fed. I don't know where the story came from, but we starved them. They were always fed. BBJ always cries. She's a very vocal cat, and especially—
No, she doesn't. BBJ was always a quiet cat. She was always a quiet cat. Both of those cats were normally quiet. They weren't that vocal. They were always over the kitchen counters and in the fridge looking for food because they were always hungry. You know what's amazing to me is that you did so many hauls of clothes and food for yourself. We never saw you do a haul just about the cats. Never saw a pet store haul of new toys and tons of food. It was always tons of food for you.
Especially as she started aging, she became more and more whiny. Okay, so, but trolls and internet haters—
maybe the reason why she was whining is because she was stressed out, she was hungry, she was sick, she was in pain. She was walking around with nails embedded into her foot pads. I'm sure they hurt. Can you imagine, Chantal, walking around? Imagine your toenails growing up under the soles of your feet and trying to walk like that. How much that would hurt. Now imagine that pain plus also being hungry, plus also being stressed out because you have an owner that you don't see, plus being in pain because you can't go to the bathroom. I mean, come on. Of course she was crying. She was in agonizing pain.
Called Animal Protective Services on us 3 times. They came in. They came in and each time left satisfied that the cats were not abused and they were fine, which is their job. So
And animal control cannot do any kind of testing like a veterinary person can do. They can't give blood tests. They can't see what's going on internally with an animal. Only a vet can do that. They can walk in, see if the place is somewhat clean, make sure they have food and water. That's all they can really do. And there were many times that animal control showed up and Pete wouldn't even answer the door. He just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, their area could have been cleaner. I will give you that. That is neglectful. It should be a lot more tidy. Most of their lives it was. Like I said, there was a time where we were depressed and even neglecting our own selves. But
she's trying to put it back on. She's trying to make the excuse of, oh, we were depressed, so that's a perfect excuse why things weren't perfect with the cats. I've been depressed, Chantal. I always made sure my baby girl was taken care of, regardless of how I felt.
By the way, I know this video is going to anger a lot of those people because they don't want anything to be true. They don't like the truth. They get angry with the truth. They want their own narrative to be true so that they have content and a fan base.
No, you know what this is? And I just figured it out, y'all. Chantal thrives on drama. She thrives on controversy. She needs the reaction channels to talk about her. Problem is, she goes about it the wrong way. She doesn't give us any positive content to cover, any positive topics. She likes to tick people off. She likes to run up to a hornet's nest and kick it as hard as possible. And then when the hornets come out, she runs away giggling. That's always been her tactic for making money on YouTube. So here she is doing it again. She's bringing up that sensitive topic of what happened with the cats and trying to paint this picture of I did nothing wrong because she knows it's going to anger people. She wants to trigger people. Again, that's how she makes money, triggering people to get angry. She uses people getting angry to make money. But this subject of the cat, Chantal, it's something we've all talked about numerous times, and so have you. So what is the sense of talking about it again? You can't rewrite history. And here's something for you. You can't make money off of past history. Understand? You can make money off the present, but you can't keep going back into that closet of the past and pulling out old subjects and dusting them off and thinking that they're still profitable. After a while, people just don't want to hear about the past.
To think they're credible people, but they're 100% not. So let's get into this person who has the cat now and is lying about it, and a bit of the history on that, because there are new people here, and that's also why I'm doing this video. New people who come here thinking that I'm an animal abuser, etc., etc.
You are.
I think that they deserve this explanation as well. So there's this person.
She's doing this because she's afraid of losing VIBs. Because if she loses VIBs, it has nothing to do with French Fry Girl. It has nothing to do with the reaction channels. It has nothing to do with the reactions that we do to her. It all has to do with the content that she's doing. Chantal, you're in Kuwait. And you're giving us some boring ass content. Okay? Let's call it for what it is. It's boring. It's stale. It's you sitting down in front of a camera eating some dried out, disgusting looking noodles. It's you eating fast food over and over again. It's you doing the live streams talking about nothing. You get into a live stream and 5 minutes into it, you're saying, well, what is there to talk about? You have no content ideas. You don't even try to come up with any. You do vlogs that are 8 to 13 minutes long. You're putting nothing into your channel and you're expecting by putting nothing in, you're going to get something back. When are you going to realize that if you want to make money on YouTube, you've got to take an active part in creating interesting content for your channel? It just has to happen. You can't go on this way and think that the money train is going to last forever. It's not. If your views are going down, if your money's going down, it's not because of the reaction channels taking it away from you. is because of you taking it away from yourself by putting out this I don't care, I'm checked out attitude on your channel. Has nothing to do with us.
I will not mention their name. I don't want to bring attention to their channel. I know they would.
I won't mention their name, but I'll just show their picture in the top right corner.
I love that. And they're probably very happy I'm even acknowledging their existence. That's what they live for. And you may think I'm exaggerating or tooting my own horn when I say that, but if you were to see this person's channel, they cannot have an existence on YouTube, a successful existence, without being a huge lying piece of crap.
Not her calling somebody else a huge lying piece of crap when that's exactly what she is. Chantal, have you looked in the mirror lately? You're one of the biggest liars on YouTube. What is your content? Your content is not about the positive. It's about the complete negative. It's about the 7 deadlies. You are all of the 7 deadlies, all rolled into one body. You are the 7 deadly sins. You don't leave any of them out. You are a cautionary tale of why a person cannot live in excess and without self-control. You're the embodiment of everything ugly. And I'm not talking about your outside. I'm talking about your inside. You're condemning somebody else on YouTube. At the same time, you're just a walking garbage bag of ugly and continue to be ugly. Nobody asked for this video, but you did it anyway, trying to defend yourself. Nobody asked you to defend yourself. The cat situation happened. The cats are in a better place now. Let it go.
Their entire content is ripping off my content. So anything I do, a vlog with my husband, simply eating on camera, going live and talking to my fans, they have to use that as their own content. And they sit there like a coward behind an avatar, never showing their face. But I showed it.
Chantal, you never show your face without a bazillion filters. So the filters act as your living avatar. You're not coming on camera 100% natural. You only come on camera with all the filters running, girl. So you can't criticize any of us who use an avatar when the filters are your avatar. You come on camera 100% natural. Maybe we will. Maybe we will.
On my thumbnail. And actually, I could see why they're so hateful. No offense. I try so hard not to dig at people's looks, but
you're supposed to be a newly reverted Muslim woman. Isn't gossiping and being hateful haram? Isn't gluttony haram? Yeah, they are. All of that is haram. But you don't care. You're going to do it anyway because you're an angry person. You got a problem with anger and you got to let it out. So I guess you decided to let it out in a video.
From someone who's done nothing but make a career out of doing that to me, I can see why they do that now.
She is so salty. Chantal is so salty. She is so angry and so bitter and salty AF that she's been on YouTube for as long as she's been on YouTube. And she's got a 92K channel and she's barely making money. And here's someone, French Fry Girl. I'm not quite sure how long Frenchie's had her channel. I would say a little over a year, perhaps even 2. Making 10 times the money that Chantal does. Reacting to her content. She's so angry about that. But you know what's sad? If Chantal had her ducks in a row long ago, screwed her head on straight, She'd be doing right. She'd be doing well right now. But she's made stupid decision after stupid decision. And all the money she made, she's got nothing to show for it. Absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, she's got worse than nothing. She's in the red. She's running from her debts, from her creditors, from her bankruptcies. She's in bad health. She's got nothing good to show for all of that money she made on YouTube. She can't even say, I have good health. And it's her own fault. Again, it's not the reaction channel's fault that her life is the way that it is. It's her own. She can't stand somebody else's success. She just can't stand it. But the secret to success, Chantal, is hard work. And you're not about that life. You're not about hard work. You're about avoiding the work. Well, you get what you get for that.
By looking at their face. So this person is a complete moron, no content, no life. The minute I upload something, they just take it, go online and find fault in everything I do. That's not reaction to me. That's harassment and bullying. And I mean harassment, like real life stalker stuff, where they've actually gone in like to my hometown to visit places I frequent. They've gone to...
Ma'am, I hate to break it to you, but Canada does not belong to you. Anybody can travel anywhere they like. You don't own Canada. You don't even live in Canada right now. You're in Kuwait. Why can't anybody visit where they want to, regardless of who it is?
To my fashion show I attended and called it a fatty fashion show, fat shaming everyone there, when this person is also obese and literally looks like an egg on legs. So just a complete loser. And they cannot have an existence or a successful existence doing any other content. So, all right, that out of the way. She gained prominence under with lies as well, claiming to have a link, an inside link to my former, I even hate to talk about this person, Swordfish, but the abuser I was with.
You were never really with him. You never lived with him. Every time you were around him, you wanted to be there. Even after claims of alleged abuse, you were meeting up with him in motel and hotel rooms on the down low, and you got caught every single time. You told on yourself. I'm sorry. As someone that I've been through things like that, I find it unusual and strange and weird that all the things you said about Natter, and again, I'm not taking up for Natter. If he hurt you in the way that you claim, how could you spend private time alone in a room with that person and feel secure and feel safe? How could you not feel afraid? You were never afraid. You want to know why? Because nothing ever happened.
And nothing was true. Nothing was true. And I eventually caught on to that and just was like, I don't want to have anything to do with you. And since then, they, you know, are big mad and just make content about me and try to ruin my life. But whatever. So now, like I said, she sits there on panel judging me when her life is 100 times worse, with the most gravelly smoker's voice I've ever heard in my life. Like she,
you know, she claims to hate French Fry Girl. Question for my audience, just a logical question for everybody. If you hate someone or something, like truly hate something with every bit of your soul, would you give it any kind of attention? Would you pay attention to it? Would you look at it? No. When you hate someone, you turn your back and you don't turn around. So if she hates French Fry Girl, why is she paying so much attention to her and watching her live streams? Just, it's illogical.
It could be Marge Simpson's third sister, the one with chronic emphysema, and that's all she does. So, yeah, Like I said, loser. So like objectively a loser. So she always has to involve herself in my life, and this person decided to cause outrage over what I plan to do with my cats, as if it wasn't my life and my decision.
No. She didn't cause outrage. There was, I'm just going to say it. Chantal, you held everybody emotionally hostage. And you did it on purpose. Doing all those live streams, showing the villa being dirty and filthy, the cats looking more and more sick and unkempt. Everybody worried about the cats. You knew that a lot of people cared about your cats because there's a lot of animal lovers, pet lovers in your audience, and they would tune in just to make sure the cats were okay, just to spot them and make sure that they were still alive, that they were okay. That's why you kept them around as long as you did. Even after you decided you didn't want them anymore, you kept them around just because you knew the audience members were tuning in for that. You wanted people to worry about the cats. You did. Emotional manipulation. Yeah, you do that quite frequently. And you didn't care about them. Had you cared, things would have been different. Had you cared, nobody would have been nervous about you going to Kuwait because they knew you would have found a good owner. They were nervous because of your attitude towards the cats and the neglect towards the cats. So the outrage that people felt over the cats had nothing to do with Frenchie. She did not blow a bullhorn and signal people to get angry. We were already angry and worried. And I'll go on record as saying that when I found out that Frenchie and her family had BBJ, that live stream she did, I was on my side of the monitor crying tears of happiness. I was so incredibly relieved that BBJ was safe and she was finally going to get the help and the care that she needed so desperately. I cried over that. I did. Like my heart is happy knowing that she's in a better place. And so is Sam. You're an evil person, but the one good thing you did was giving the cats away. Now that they're fine, whatever happens to you, honestly, I don't care because you are an adult person. You make your own decisions. You make your own choices. You can go where you like. You can do what you like. And if you decide to live an unhealthy, unhappy life, that's completely by choice. Animals rely on their guardians, so their choices are dictated by the love and care of their owners. Unfortunately, you are not a good owner, so I'm glad that they are where they need to be.
Decision involving herself again, causing outrage, like she's not feeding her cats. She's not feeding her cats because my cat was crying in the background, very vocal cat. I would never starve my cats, okay?
You lying beach. Yes, you would.
I think there was one live stream where my roommate couldn't find her wet food where I put it, which was solved like an hour later. And they always have dry food out. But anyway.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about the live stream that Pete's did where he came online and said, BBJ hasn't had food in 2 days? And some wonderful, kind person immediately sent food to the villa. Immediately. Once they found out, they sent food to the villa. That's why she had food, not because you provided it. And then you try to cover your butt saying, oh, there was food. It was just in a drawer. Well, if you're a cat owner and you care about your cats, why wouldn't you tell your roommate where the cat food was, stupid?
Anyway, so then it was, I'm going to rescue this cat. I want to rescue this cat. So she wanted to look like a big hero, okay? And even though humane euthanasia is not cruel if it's warranted, which is why I had a vet appointment to determine that I was doing the responsible thing. Now, what wasn't responsible?
Was doing and doing are two different things. Was doing means you haven't done it yet. You had weeks before you went to Kuwait. Why did you wait that long? You mean to tell me you came home from Kuwait and you didn't immediately notice that the cat's nails were ingrown to her foot pads and you let them sit there for 3 more weeks? There's not enough profane words in the vocabulary for how I feel about that.
Responsible of me, and I will take full ownership for, was even despite having clipped their nails, made sure their food was stocked up, making sure.
But wait a minute. You said a while ago that you didn't like clipping the nails because it was too traumatic, that BBJ didn't let you. Now you're trying to say that you were going to get the nail, you were going to clip the nails? Make up your mind, Chantal.
Sure they were taken care of before I left for Kuwait. And I did miss them.
By the way, here's what's disgusting. Having the nails clipped is really cheap. Between $10 and $20 to have the nails clipped. That's about the price of 2 Starbucks drinks. That's how cheap it is, y'all. It's not that expensive. She couldn't be bothered. Could not be bothered. She let it go to the point where it got serious and painful for BBJ.
No, I obviously did miss them. But I felt like they were, taken care of. They were at home. They weren't in a pet hotel. People travel all the time and leave them with strangers. At least mine were at home with someone familiar. So I didn't realize how often their nails would have had to been clipped. Now Sam scratches furniture.
That's another lie she just told, because the nails grew into her foot pads, and the vet, she said in a live stream, the vet told her that because BBJ is an elderly cat, that her nails might grow faster. So this was knowledge that Chantal had and did not act on.
Like the beezer he is. But so when I came home from Kuwait 3 months later, his nails were fine. They were mildly grown. They weren't ingrown. They were fine. Because he was kept filing them down, probably with his scratch post and furniture. BBJ, however, shortly after I came home, I checked her paws and noticed when I saw them, the immediate thing, my heart sank and I was like, oh shit, oh shit. They were grown in the pads, some of them.
So y'all hear that? She came from Kuwait, and shortly after she came home, she noticed it. She noticed the nails growing into the foot pads. And that poor baby sat there for another 2 or 3 more weeks before something was done.
Them. And I tried with the nail clipper to take them out, but she wasn't having it. And I thought, okay, I'm going to deal with it when she goes to the vet. I was going to have everything taken care of when she went to the vet. Should that have been taken care of sooner? Yes. It was ignorant and negligent on my part to not even really think about that. Especially her nails grew a lot faster because as cats get into senior level, they neglect their care. They don't scratch, and their nails grow much more coarser and faster because they don't scratch anymore. She doesn't scratch furniture. She just kind of sleeps there all day. But she was still walking around and jumping around too. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I wanted to have her assessed by a vet, which was not this person's decision to make. Okay. So the irony and the hypocrisy of this person wanting to save my cat from euthanasia, drum roll please, is the fact that this person had
what's making me absolutely nauseated right now, y'all? I mean, a lot of things are making me feel queasy right now. All of them having to do with Chantal. The fact this demon, Chantal Marie, she came home from Kuwait. She saw that the nails were not just long, they were grown into her foot pads. Didn't immediately take her in for emergency care to have that treated. She waited so long. You know what I don't hear from Chantal right now? I don't hear any pain in her voice when talking about the pain that BBJ was in and feeling guilty or shamed over it. I don't see any regret or remorse in her for that. Like, I put my pet in pain. She was in pain for a long time, and that's awful. No remorse and regret about that. Do you know what I'm seeing and hearing from her right now? This is what's coming through for me. Let's see if you guys agree. Like, she is angry over the fact that her little sadistic demonic self mistreated this cat, neglected the cat. She was sadistic that way. She mistreated BBJ. And she thought she was going to get away with it. But she could just do what she wanted with the cats. And all of her sins would not be found out. And then French Fry Girl and her family got the cat. And all of her sins were exposed. The one thing that a narcissist hates the most of all is when the truth is exposed and they can't deny it. That's when they get the most upset, not over any bad things they've done, but the bad things that they've done that they cannot deny. That's why she's still going on and on about this, because that narcissistic ego self is still bruised and wounded over that. Chantal's had an entire life where she's done evil, awful things, and she's gotten away with them. But this is the one thing that she did wrong, and it's been exposed, and she can't deny it, and she can't sweep it under a rug.
2 dogs that she apparently loved so much. She loved dogs. And by the way, she wanted to save my cat, and she said on her live stream she does not like cats.
You don't have to like an animal or own an animal to be compassionate and to take care of them. You just have to be a good person and say, this needs to be done. This animal needs my help, and I am going to help them. So I support what Frenchie did. BBJ needed help, and she got help. And I'm glad she's in a better place, away from you. And if you were any kind of a pet owner, pet guardian, Chantal, that you claim you love your pet so much, you should be happy that your pets are happy and being well taken care of. You have your life now in Kuwait with Salah. They're not with you, but they're being well taken care of. If you had half the heart that you claim that you have, you would be happy about that, instead of being bitter and salty, regardless of who has the pet.
So how is my cat getting the love she needs? Sure, maybe she got to the vet before I took her, a day before I was going to take her, but I doubt she's getting the love she needs. Anyway, I'll get to that.
I don't.
Soon. And if people think they're going to comment on other videos defending these behaviors or just stating falsehoods, I'll just block you instantly. Thanks. Okay. So
yeah, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and turn off the comments again. See, you're a coward, Chantal. You like to kick the hornet's nest and run away from it rather than take all the stings. But go ahead, turn off the comments for your videos. Turn off the comments for your community posts, because you know what's going to happen when you do that. Your engagement goes down. And when your engagement goes down, you get pushed further and further down the page for the search results, which hurts your channel. So keep making stupid decisions. You play stupid games, get stupid prizes.
She had 2 dogs. The one dog became chronically ill, and she prolonged its life with all kinds of medications.
Ma'am, I don't think it's right for you to speak on another pet owner and what's happened when they're pets, when you were not in the room, you were not around those animals, you were not around that person. You have no right to speak on another person and how they care for your pets, especially considering the history that you have with yours. So you can shut up now. Really, you can shut up about Frenchie and her dogs.
whatever. She ended up having to euthanize that dog. So she did euthanize a pet who was ill. Okay. Number 2, she'll then say, well, BBJ wasn't ill. BBJ is very elderly and has a lot of illnesses, which when you took her to the vet, you found out yourself. Okay. So number 2, she had a second dog that apparently had separation anxiety and was very miserable because the first dog passed away. So she decided to euthanize that dog as well, which that dog didn't have chronic illnesses apparently. So I don't know.
Right. You don't know what happened, yet you're making assumptions just to be evil. And what kind of a pet owner who has had pets, who's loved their pets, gotten attached to their pets, would throw the death of somebody else's pets in their face trying to hurt them? That's just a heartless, cold, evil thing to do.
Instead of parading BBJ's vet notes online for super chats, how about you show us what happened to your dogs? We need proof of that. How about that?
You know what? You know what you're angry and salty about, Chantal? I think part of that is you are salty as fuck. You're so salty about the fact that you, when you had the cats, you had them, you used them for attention for a while, for deflection, and then you got man hungry and all into natter. And when you focused on men versus your cats and using that to get attention and make money, you pushed your cats to the side and you looked at them as useless props that couldn't possibly make you money anymore. And then you saw Frenchie and what happened after she got BBJ. And people were sending super chats like crazy. And Frenchie was not telling them to send super chats like crazy. As a matter of fact, she told people, look, instead of giving money to me, send money to different organizations. But you saw all those super chats and all the views she was getting, and you became angry about that. You're not angry about the fact that BBJ went to Frenchie and her family. You're angry because you're kicking yourself hard. You're still kicking yourself. Thinking to yourself, dang it, if only I had taken care of my cats. If only I had focused more on my pets, I could have made all that money. By making all of the animal lovers and the pet lovers and my audience happy, they would have sent me more money. But I didn't. And now the pets are gone and I can't use them to make tremendous amounts of money. More than I would ever make with my mukbang videos. That's what you're the most salty and bitter about. The fact that your cats are no longer in your possession and you can't make money off of them has nothing to do with loving your pets. Has everything to do with the dollar bills that you lost because they're no longer with you.
Before you open your big mouth about my care, pet care. So you have 2 dogs euthanized, but you have the nerve to criticize me for wanting to bring my cat to the vet to see if it was appropriate for her to be euthanized, given her age, given the fact that I had to move out of country, and given the fact...
You know what? You let BBJ walk around with nails grown into her foot pads for 3 weeks. So go screw yourself, Chantal. Seriously, just go screw yourself, you witch.
That she had so many illnesses due to her age.
I don't think it had to do with her age. I think it had a lot to do with the neglect. UTIs have nothing to do with age. It has to do with neglect. The kidney thing, that could have been stopped with medication. You didn't. A lot of the issues that she had to do with neglect, not her age.
That doesn't make any sense to me. All right, so moving on. Her audience don't have it. That's why we call them zombies. They have no brains. They can't come to these conclusions themselves. So whatever.
You know what's worse than zombies, Chantal? Enablers. People that enable an addict in their addictions You got a lot of those in your audience. They don't see themselves as enablers, but they are. Just because of the fact that you're an addict, you come online and you're looking for people to send you money to continue your addictions, like the addiction with the food. You get online, you're eating, you're overeating, you're gaining a tremendous amount of weight, and yet they continue to send you money. And you continue to use that money to make your health worse. Your health, your bad health, is a result because you sold every bit of your health for a paycheck, and you continue to do so.
So I had two things happen. I managed to rehome Sam Chibius to somebody close in the family. And they're going to foster Sam now. Actually, there's somebody else fostering Sam now. The first person, it didn't work out. They had to leave, move away, and all this and that. So I was disappointed. And now that
you do realize how fostering works, right, Chantal? People who foster animals, they don't keep them, they're not forever pets unless they're a foster fail. Fostering a pet means you're taking in an animal for just a certain length of time, but the goal is to adopt them out to a forever home. So somebody keeping Sam, caring for him, if that is a true foster, that's not his forever home. I'm glad if he has a foster, because anything's better than him being with you. But fostering means they're on their way to somebody else eventually. And if you're under the thought that you're just going to give Sam up to somebody and they're going to pay all the medical bills and take him to the vet and get everything done, and then you're going to come home from Canada and take your pet, you got another thing coming.
He's being refostered. I don't want him just in foster care. I want him, and I want to try everything I can to bring him now. I've changed my mind and I want him. So another thing that happened, so at the same time for BBJ, she was
so all the things she should have done for Sam when she had him, she never did. So she gave him up, and somebody else is doing all the things that she should have done, and she just wants to come right back and swoop him up and go, okay, thanks, I'll take him now. But yet you got a husband in Kuwait. So how's that going to work? The two of you want to travel. How's it going to work? The two of you traveling together with a cat. How's that going to work? Sam isn't used to traveling. Why not just leave him where he's at? Stop being an idiot. The cats are where they need to be. Stop being stupid. If you can't take care of yourself, you don't need cats around, Chantal. Like I said, nothing with a heartbeat should depend on you for their care.
A tougher decision due to her age and problems. So I made a vet appointment right away when I saw her nails, and I thought, oh no.
No, you didn't. You waited 3 weeks, you fool.
So the fact I never, ever did anything to purposely hurt or abuse my pets at all.
You're a lying beach. Yes, you did.
All whatsoever. My abuser came to my home a couple of times, and the last time he came to my home, he scared my cat. He didn't kick her like people think. He swatted at her, and she became so terrified of him. I never let him back in my house again. He never came in my house.
Somebody comes into your house, and if they scare or hurt your pet, did that stop you from seeing him? No. No, you kept going back to that person. I'm sorry. Anybody that scares or hurts my pet, you'd be lucky to walk out of the house. And I'm definitely not seeing you again. That's my baby.
My house. I would never abuse my pets. So that is just ridiculous and 100% false. She should have been brought into the vet sooner. 100%, I agree with that. And that I regret, and I made an error there. But I was in Kuwait, and I didn't realize that. You know,
So what is your excuse before you went to the Kuwait and the situation happened with the nails growing into the foot pads the first time? This was before Kuwait, Chantal. And what about the visit that you did to the vet? Remember the live stream that you did with Roman? You guys were in the car together and you played a message from the vet who said in the message, and I remember this very clearly, the vet said that BBJ should come back for oral surgery. That never happened. That was over a year ago. So this was way before Salah, way before Kuwait. You took her to the vet. You were hanging around with Roman. He likes animals, so you decided you like animals too. You're going to paint yourself as an animal lover. Took her to the vet. The vet said she needed oral surgery. That never happened. So what was the excuse for that time?
Whenever I did actually have my roommate who can contest to that, and he's like a very truthful person. If you don't believe me.
No, he's not. He said he'll lie for you if you ask him to lie for you. And everybody knows, Chantal, everybody knows that Pete's still loves you. He's always loved you. And he will lie for you if you ask him to. And there are many instances where we saw Pete grab BBJ by the face and say, no mercy. And you would giggle about it. So screw you.
He showed me her paws, but the video chat was not that clear. And that was...
And Pete's has gone on record as saying that when you went to Kuwait, he never heard from you. So which is it? You guys did video chats, or him saying you never did video chats? So if you never did video chats, how would you be able to see her paws? I believe Pete's version. I believe that you never really talked to Pete's. That once you packed your bag and you went to Kuwait, you left everything behind, including him.
About maybe a few weeks into being in Kuwait, and her nails looked okay. And even he said they looked okay. So they must have grown in the remaining 2 months. And I just didn't really think about it. So
No. Nails growing like that take more than 2 months. That's several months. It takes a long time for a cat's nails to grow that way.
So I made a vet appointment with her regular vet, okay, for a few days later, shortly after, I don't remember. And at the same time, I decided to try to look for people in case I could rehome her, because I was getting a lot of messages from people who were like, you know, I have experience with elderly cats. I don't mind. I'll take care of her. I'll take care of her vet bills, blah, blah, blah. But then I told my mom about it, and she was like, no, don't rehome it to someone you don't know. And she was so right. I should have listened to my mom. But no, I didn't. I trusted. There was a person I talked to. I know that this person, this bully, online bully, offered to take my cat. Of course she did.
Yeah. So about that, little information about that for those who don't know. Frenchie contacted Chantal, and she offered to pay, I believe it was $3,000 or $4,000 for BBJ, plus sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, meaning she would take the cat and not talk about BBJ. And Chantal didn't take her up on her offer. And Frenchie got the cat anyway. Didn't sign an NDA so she could say whatever she wants about BBJ. So I'm sure that's another thing she's kicking herself about. The fact that she could have sold the cat for quite a bit of money. There would have been an NDA in place, and she wouldn't have had to deal with all this. But she was in a hurry to get rid of BBJ, and so she decided on somebody who was bedridden. I'm sure she was looking around and just trying to make sure that there was nobody connected to YouTube, but her worst nightmare came true. And you know what that's called, Chantal? It's called karma. For once, you had to suffer the consequences of your actions, and all of your sins were revealed.
Not because she cared about the cat, because she wanted the clout and she wanted to use it for content, which she has done. Actually, she's made a very lucrative career of using my cat and the situation with my cat and the false outrage about my cat. She's made thousands of dollars. So of course there's an incentive.
Not Chantal condemning somebody for what they do on their channel. When this one, what has she done on her channel, y'all? Let's go back. Look at all the things that Chantal has done on her channel for clout, for attention, for money. The list is long. She's come on camera and shaved her head for attention and for money. She's come on camera half dressed in a sports bra and barely their clothing. Coming on camera flashing people all the naughty bits of her body. Bits that we did not ask to see. Coming on camera doing massive amounts of the green and being so zonked out of her head that she could barely speak. Driving around intoxicated. Triggering people with sensitive topics like essay, like DV. Look at all the offensive things that she's done. And she wants to criticize somebody else for what they do on their channel. Frenchie hasn't even done a third of the things that you've done, Chantal. Not a third. Yet you want to wag your finger at other people? You better look at yourself first.
There. And now that she's made the money, now she's saying, well, I don't want to talk about the cat anymore. And we haven't seen the cat since. So of course, as someone who loved my cat for so many years, I'm worried about her well-being.
You're not worried. You're not worried. And you know what? I'm completely okay with BBJ not being part of the content. I'm okay with that. I'm satisfied knowing that she's being well taken care of, that she's happy, that she's living the life that a cat should live with her catio. I'm okay with that. My heart is satisfied that she's in a better place. That's all I need to know. I don't need constant updates. And I don't even know why you're coming on camera acting like you care, Chantal. If you cared about BBJ, you would have done better when you had her.
Actually worried because we haven't seen any video evidence that she's happy and where she is. I think she's with this person because there's a picture of her on the sofa that this person has. We've seen this sofa in previous live streams. The person that I was supposed to rehome to is actually, we found out she's in California, so she cannot physically be there. BBJ cannot be with this person that was supposed to adopt her. So I said, no, I'm not, as if I'm going to give my number one bully my pet to take care of. Dream on, as Aerosmith says.
She is so angry that she was outsmarted. Like her narcissistic ego just cannot take it, y'all. Her narcissistic ego is just so bruised over that because Chantal deludes herself into thinking she's the smartest person in the room. And she just cannot deal with the fact that she was outsmarted. But that's not hard to do because she's not that intelligent anyway.
So she didn't take no for an answer. Instead, she decided to have one of her chinians say she's the sister-in-law, and who she says is her sister-in-law now. One of her chinians just messaged me on Instagram and was very persistent. I did show the DMs online. Privacy is out there. I don't think they cared about my privacy when persistent, saying I would never talk about it online, blah, blah, blah. And you actually clear me. She said, like, you know, I'm a chronically ill person. I'm just in bed all day. I can take care of an elderly pet. I would love to have someone to snuggle with.
Now, Chantal, if you were a cat guardian who cared about your pets and you have a pet that's very, very sick and they're going to need vet visits, why would you give your pet to somebody who's bedridden? Answer, because you really didn't care about BBJ. You didn't care what happened to her. If you did care, you'd say, well, you're bedridden. That sounds like you won't be able to take the cat to the vet like she needs. Maybe I need to find another owner. Yeah, like I said, I love the fact that she tells on herself. Chantal lies, but she also tells on herself. She's telling on herself right now, trying to paint this picture of I love my cat so much, but if you love them so much, why would you give an elderly, sick cat to someone that cannot get out of bed, cannot do the vet visits? Oh, oops. Sorry.
Gucci collar. The cat doesn't even like wearing collars. She's elderly. She wants love, not Gucci.
You know what she needs. You never paid attention to her.
She wants treats, you know, and love. That's it. She doesn't need a catio. She has arthritis. She can't even barely walk. I mean, you know,
she's walking just fine with the nails out of her foot pads.
At some point, it's just cruel to prolong life of a chronically ill cat who's in pain and suffering.
Well, what about you? I mean, you're chronically ill. You're in really bad health. You can't even stand up and walk for 5 minutes. Should society look at you the way you look at your cats? I mean, if society had the attitude towards humans that you do towards your cat, Chantal, you'd be in serious trouble. They would look at you and go, well, you're 500 pounds. You can barely breathe. You've got diabetes. You've got an enlarged heart. You've got blood clots in your lungs. You've got non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Your liver is 3 times the size of what it needs to be. You can barely move. We should put her down. How would you feel if society looked at you and treated you the way that you treat your cats? That would just automatically give up on you just because you're sick. Those who care never give up.
And they can't tell us they're in pain, but that's maybe why she always cried all the time. So anyway, that's the story. There's nothing more to it. Should I have paid more attention to the nails earlier? Yes, of course. But
the nails, the UTI, the kidney disease, there's a lot of things you should have paid attention to, not just one thing.
As I explained all the circumstances, it wasn't on purpose. I didn't purposely try to hurt my cat in any way, my pets in any way. I loved them. I continue to love them. I have to close the chapter at this point because there's nothing I can do.
Right, there's nothing you can do except talk about it and try to make views off of it. That's all you're left with.
I don't have the pets anymore. I will have one of them back soon.
Hope not. You know what? I'm going to go on record as saying that I don't think she's getting Sam back. I mean, how's she going to get Sam back? She's in Kuwait. What's she going to do? Fly home? Then she's going to go right back over to Kuwait. I don't think she's getting Sam back. And whoever does have Sam should not give the cat back to her. And if she does get Sam back, it's not because she loves Sam. It's because she's desperate for anything to give her views and make her money.
BBJ, I will always have to live with the guilt of not the nails, of rehoming her to somebody who...
It's not guilt that she would feel over BBJ. It's anger. The anger that all of her sins were revealed and she couldn't make money off BBJ.
I don't trust her with. I don't think that she's safe. I think that this person is malicious and just doesn't even like cats and doesn't have the right intentions with her. The only reason she wanted the cat was for money and attention and clout, and she got all that. So I have to move on.
Okay, enough with this. So we're done here. So that's it for my react, y'all. So we just put the 2 vlogs together because, as I said, I just got a feeling this video is going to disappear very, very quickly. Chantal has a habit of dirty deleting, which is why I'm up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm reacting to this now just in case it does disappear. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a great day. I'm going to upload this and go back to bed. So have a good one. Bye-bye.